side, Vicarage Road, for the first game of the season. It's Watford QPR, match day 1. Valérien Ismaël, the new manager at the helm. Can he get this Watford side playing as they should do? Last season was a shambles, in all honesty. QPR obviously have a few off-the-field problems as well. You know, Gareth Ainsworth only just kept them up last season, so it should be an interesting one to see who gets the win on the opening day. I mean, you'd fancy Watford, but a few outgoings. Obviously, the main one, Joao Pedro. Hopefully he does well at Brighton. Ismaïl Assar also is going to be a big miss, but it was time for them to go, so it's just fair enough, really. But a very interesting side of Valérien Ismaël's pick to start the season. In goal, Backman, as you'd expect. Morris starts at left back. I guess we thought that might happen. But then, interestingly, going for a back 4 as well as Sierralta. So possibly playing Sierralta in that inverted centre-back role, a bit like John Stones does at Man City. But you've got Sierralta, you've got Porteous, and you've got, of course, Hoop, the two that played a lot last season in the second half. Then right back, we've gone for, once again, we've gone for Ngakia, but I thought Andrews would start, I can't lie. So maybe Ngakia, it's his time now. Midfield, as you would expect. And then, yeah, we've gone with Bio over Healy, which I'm a bit, unsure about, but we'll see how Bio can go on. He did have a few good moments last season, so I'm just hoping we start off with a win. I'll say 2-1 Watford. And goal scorers, we'll go for Louza and then Bio to get the 2-1 win. Come on, you Horns!
Oh, Wesley Hoot! Oh, Wesley Hoot! You won! You won! Come on, you golden boys! The lads are ready. A new season is upon us.
Playing a part in helping to create that. There are words to describe how you do it.
Ismaël! The legendary voice of Gary Weaver. Bio! Captain Backman, you are! So we somehow scored after like 35 seconds. Pretty incredible. Tom Deli Bashiru taking the chance. Come on, you Horns, this is what we love to see. Am I dreaming or what? Well, it's not even hit half time and it's 4-0 to Watford. I mean, this Watford side couldn't be any different from last season. Any more different. I mean, it's just, we look like we're playing for the badge, we're clinical, and we're actually taking shots. And we're playing incisive, purposeful passes. What is this team? I love you. And you're really bad 4-0. And you're really bad 4-0. And you're really bad 4-0. They've been so quiet as well, so it's absolute waffle. It's debut time for Livermore and, is it? For Georgie as well. Go on. Nice. Oh, unlucky. And again, and again. Oh. Unlucky, lads. Top football.
Oh yeah. Let's hear it first of all for number 10, Imran Louza.
Man of the match. Man of the match. 100%. What a goal. Nearly scored a banger off the crossbar, but what a goal. Imran Louza. Imran Louza.
And let's hear it for number 24, Tom Deli Bashiru.
Hey! Come on, Chak Vadadze. Oh, Mateus Martins. The next João Pedro from Fluminense. Come on, Martins. Go on, Chak Vadadze to take the set piece. Oh, Georgie Chak Vadadze. Oh, good effort, unlucky. Watford! Yellow on me! Yellow on me! Yellow on me! Yellow on me! Oh, come on. It's always when I get the camera out. We love you, Ken! We do! We love you, Ken! We do! Oh, Ken, we love you. King Ken. There's only one Ken in these parts. Come on, King Ken. Interesting approach from Ngaki, that. and not the right result. Well in, Kayembe. Get him! You love to see it. What a win. Statement win for Valérien Ismail, Watford. Come on!
We are top of the league, say we are top of the league. We are top of the league, say we are top of the league. What a statement victory on opening day for the first match in charge of the Hornets for Valérien Ismail, because it finished Watford 4, yes, you heard that right, Watford 4, Queen's Park Rangers 0. I mean, that is how to do it on opening day at Vicarage Road with the sun out. I mean, it was looking pretty miserable, I can't lie, this morning. It was raining, it was awful, absolutely awful. And to be honest, going into this game, a lot of Watford fans were just like, meh. You know, last season was an absolute letdown, and we were just going into the season thinking, you know, we're probably just going to languish mid-table. It's probably going to be an underwhelming season again. We don't have many expectations. But at the same time, we were thinking, all right, new season, fresh start, new dreams. That pre-season butterflies, that pre-season buzz is still there. But at the same time, it was tempered by how poor we were last year. And obviously, our signings in the window hadn't been, especially spectacular. And obviously, a lot of outgoings, some big ones, likes of Joao Pedro, Ismail Assar, you know, a few leaders at the back like Craig Cathcart and Christian Cabaselli. So it was just a uncertain summer, really. But going into this, we knew that QPR obviously had a few off-the-field problems. They've not been great in pre-season under Gareth Ainsworth. Obviously, they only just stayed up last season, QPR, under the management of Gareth Ainsworth, because it was basically their defence was really leaky, and they had to get Ainsworth in and he just about kept them up. But there still is big problems there. But that does not take away from what a fantastic performance it was from the Hornets today. I mean, yes, QPR, in terms of their attack, didn't threaten Watford as much. Backman had a couple saves to make, to be honest. A couple. There was only one, I think, where it was a real difficult save that he had to really force himself with, which I think was some point in the second half, where it was a near post shot, really, and just Backman did really well to kind of push it away from danger. But generally, yeah, they didn't offer a lot of threat. But apart from all of that, let's not forget that, you know, Watford, they did go 4-0 up in the first half, and they could have easily sat on that and then just defended. And, you know, we've actually seen in recent seasons Watford sometimes do go into that first half leading. You look at Rotherham a few seasons ago in that 2020-21 season. Watford really good in the first half, scored 2 early goals, and then Rotherham, fortunately for Watford, were quite profligate and they didn't take chances, and, you know, really it could have been another scoreline on another day. But with this team, with this performance today, Watford were just brilliant, because even though they score those amazing amount of goals in the first half, they don't sit on that. They don't just accept that. They have that hunger, that desire that we just didn't see last season, to want more, chase every ball down, make every tackle. I mean, the amount of times today you had players on the floor for Watford and they were playing for the badge, playing for the shirt, and really putting their hearts on the line with tackles to win the ball back. I mean, there was just so much belief, so much of a team spirit, and maybe that's the way that Ismail is now putting this Watford side about, and they've got a different mentality, and that's great to see, because, you know, it has been a massive clear out, it has been a massive reset and a massive rebuild over the summer. So it's not often that we've let go of so many of these players that have, you know, formed the kind of crux of the Pozzo era, but it's a new start, it's a new beginning, and I'm hoping that Pozzo backs the manager, Valérien Ismail, just as much as us fans do, because on the basis of today, Val-Ball was in full swing and it was delightful. So, referring to the lineups that were announced, I mean, there was a few shocks in there, to be honest, and a few very interesting calls by Valérien Ismail. The first of which was to start Tom Dele-Bashiru, who in his time at Watford really has been very unlucky with injuries, and he certainly is a great player for, you know, midfield squad depth, but he certainly hasn't been high up the pecking order, as good as he can be on his day. There's just been other midfielders put in front of him, and as I say, he's had a lot of injuries, unlucky for him. But, you know, last season, a really good member of that midfield was the signing of, you know, really promising talent. You know, when you talk about some of the best kind of midfielders in terms of that World Cup and that shone at the World Cup, I thought, you know, Ismail Kone was really good for Canada in a tricky group with Belgium and Croatia, but that was a fantastic signing, and he had shown really good points last season, so it was a risk to bench him and play with Dele-Bashiru, but that decision was vindicated just 30 seconds in. I mean, it was just, what a way to start a new season. It's not often a club scores in the first 35, 37 seconds. It was just unbelievable scenes. But yeah, as I say, inspired choice from Ismail to start him. Also starting Shearauter in a bit of a inverted centre-back position, the way that John Stones does at Manchester City, kind of overlap into the kind of defensive midfield area as a centre-back. And then it allows you to have that back four with kind of a midfield, extra body in midfield. And it was really versatile and quite intriguing to see, because when, for instance, you know, you saw someone like on the right-hand side, Jeremy Ngakia push a bit further forward,
then Sierrata would come a bit further back and cover for the defence. And the same goes for on the other flank with James Morris. So yeah, really interesting. You know, we've seen that in pre-season a little bit, but to then try it out in a pre-season game is bold, and I like it. Another thing that's quite bold is the style of football around the kind of playing out from the back, which, to be honest, is quite hard to watch at times. But today, for once, you know, in the past we have done really bad at it. We did really well at it today, I thought. You know, Backman had a few, you know, heart and mouth moments, but generally he was quite good in terms of playing out from the back, and he was pushing up so high. It's like he was playing like a centre-back, to the point where, you know, there'd be a bit of a press from QPR, but we'd play through that press and we'd really work around them, and it was really great football. And as I say, high risk, high reward, but it made some really good passing movements, and there was just purpose in our passing. So I had a feeling that Martins would start. He did on that right hand side, and he had a fantastic game, got his goal, which, to be honest, like, it was really a long time coming, but it was a fantastic header. Really good ability there shown from Mateus Martins, and I'm just happy for him to get that goal off the mark. Bio, of course, started up front ahead of Healy, and I thought Bio actually had a really fantastic performance. You know, we did see a lot of Bio kind of not offering a lot in terms of that striker position, that number 9, that hold-up man. He was just kind of getting the odd goal here or there off the bench and kind of struggling to keep the ball and retain the ball. But today, he had it all. He was holding off men, and I talked about QPR's pressing. Actually, much more was Watford's pressing at points in that game. They had a desire to win the ball back. You know, at points in that first half, we played really well. We had the passing in the first few minutes. Then QPR had a little spell where they had a bit more possession. But even then, our pressing was really impressive, and Bio was a big part of that. So pressing from the front really impressed me, Bio, and his hold-up play was really good. Obviously won a few headers and scored his goal, which, you know, was a well-worked one. Really nice passing play, and then just kind of a ball across the box. I think the defender misses it, and Bio just slides it in. So it's got to be said, what a performance from Watford, and what a goal, what a match. Man of the match, Imran Louza. I mean, this is just unbelievable. We talked about Tom Deli-Bashiru. I mean, when you score after 37 seconds, I mean, it's a brilliant through ball. It might have been Bio that provided it. I'll just have a little check for you people to make sure. But yeah, the strike from Louza was just different gravy, and he just dictated the game today. Absolutely class. Yeah, so actually the through ball for the first goal was Imran Louza, so that just adds another feather to his cap of a wonderful performance. But a fantastic through ball, and Deli-Bashiru in the first minute, unbelievable. It was actually 36 seconds, so what a start to a championship season. And yeah, just slotted it, Deli-Bashiru. And Backman maybe, sorry, not Backman, Begovic, I'm thinking of another B goalkeeper, should have possibly done better. He kind of got a touch on it, but it wasn't strong enough. And then yeah, just Watford's relentless pushing for another goal. Even when they're 1-0 up, they go for another, they go in for the kill. And it was a classy goal for the second from Imran Louza. Just curled it, sat up nicely for him, and you thought, oh, have a pop. And he did. For once, Watford players not shying away from having a shot and testing the goalkeepers. And yeah, what a classy goal that was. And it could have been even more, right? We had chance after chance, 23 shots. It's not often that Watford have that many shots and are that adventurous, but we should do it more often, because we can score goals, as we saw today. And 71% possession, we were dominant, right? We were all over QPR. They couldn't live with us. And yes, I said about QPR, they didn't offer a lot going forward, but as I said, we punished them. We really drove home that advantage, and what a way to end the first week, top of the table on goal difference. Beautiful. It could have even been 5. I mean, Bio, as I said, had a really good game and almost made it 5 with a fantastic lob in the kind of end of the first half, and then also Louza with a banger of a shot. It was a wonderful lob, dipping, and it just had the curl, it had everything. It was Delafeu against Wolves in the semi-final, very much similar to that, and it just hit the crossbar. Very unlucky, but what a performance. I mean, Backman, I said, good as distribution. Wasn't always brilliant, but as I say, made a couple of great saves and generally had a solid game. Captain, leading from the front, and I think it's a good role for him to take on, and hopefully he embraces that, because, you know, I think he could do a good job at it. Ngakia, I thought, had quite a good game today. I think he was, you know, a bit of a surprise inclusion ahead of Andrews. I did think Andrews would start, but Ngakia definitely proved himself. You know, he did offer a lot, and there was one point where Ngakia even showed some, you know, very
nifty skills with a little back heel to get past the opponent. So yeah, really nice Ngakia, good performance. Porteous and Hoot at the back. Oh, those two are just the solid centre-back pairing you love to see. So good, and they were just rocks all day long, and every single time that Hoot went up for a header, he won it, and the same goes for Porteous. And Sierrata, can I just say, he was back to his best, you know, back like he was in that 2020-21 season under Cisco Munoz. He was so strong in the air, so powerful, and the amount of challenges, as I said, sliding challenges, just guts on show from the Watford defence. They made those fantastic tackles to win back the ball. Morris had an okay game, but was unfortunately booked. A bit of a clumsy challenge, just kind of missed the ball, and then got the man, and he was booked. And then a sensible substitution to, you know, there's no point risking him at half time. So on came Andrews, but Andrews actually I thought was all right when he came on as well. But we could even, you know, go and sign another right back in that Andrews and Ngakia position. But obviously we've still got Jamal Lewis to come in. He didn't start today. We don't know quite why he wasn't in the squad, but the quality is still there for that position. So really great to see the competitiveness of that. Midfield, I've talked about Deli Bashiru, who's just really good for his goal, and you know it's going to be a struggle to get Kone back in the team with how well Deli Bashiru did today. And then Louza, baller, absolute man of the match for sure, just pulled the strings as usual. Kone came on, didn't do a lot to be honest, and you can say the same for Livermore. Livermore came on for his debut, didn't look too mobile, and I think he'll, you know, be a bit part player because of his age, but he's certainly an experienced head to help the dressing room. And then the front three, Sema, everything was there from Sema today in terms of guts and performance, but the only thing was missing was a goal, and he had a few attempts that were really good efforts, but Begovic made, to be fair to him, a couple of good saves. So yeah, Sema, great performance, just not quite the final end. And then Bio, really good striker performance, and then Martins, really nice to see him score, and I think he was just a threat all game, Martins. So really happy with that, really happy with that performance. Kayembe came on at the end, and let's not forget Chak Vidadzi. This guy, number 16, is a star in the making. When he came on, he looked so on it, so crisp with his passing, and he loves the shot, and he looks quality. So he is one that's going to really get exciting for a lot of Watford fans, and maybe he could take Sema's place. I don't really want to see it, to be honest, with how much we love Sema, but yeah, so much positives to take from that. I don't remember seeing anywhere near to a performance like that last season for the Hornets, so it was a crazy difference. Aspria was quite quiet today, obviously didn't get the minutes off the bench that we thought he would. The same goes for Healy, but you know, at the end of the day, they're still brilliant players that can come in when we need to. And one final thing we'll say, love the Elton John music at the start. I think that was perfect, just starting off. But at the end of it, why is there no Depeche Mode? I just can't get enough. That's what we want to see. So yeah, fantastic first day. Not often we say this, but we have absolutely bossed it on day one, and just love to see it really. So hope you have enjoyed my match play vlog. Give a like on the video, comment your thoughts on Watford's upcoming season, and we go and turn our attention next to, of course, Plymouth. Hopefully it'll be a fairly similar team. I mean, Plymouth obviously had Huddersfield today, so you know, read into that what you will. Huddersfield might not have a great season this year. They might be near the bottom of the table, but yeah, what a performance. Great game from Ngakia. As I say, got the assist for the Louza strike. Sema did obviously get that assist for the goal from Martins, but you know, it was just a good game all round, and Sierrata even popping up with a nice little assist for that Bio one. So yeah, what a game, what a day, love to see it.